That's a big no-no.
You can't say you disagree.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
A lane dance.
Welcome to episode 106 of Another Woodshop podcast, your weekly court-mandated community service. Welcome, everyone.
This will get you off the hook with the judge.
Yeah, just 300 more hours.
300 more hours of episodes.
And a couple
which,
more
if
points
you listen
off
to
your
last week's
license.
episode, that takes off 40 hours if you listen to last week's episode. So,
Yes.
Dan's doing math.
No, it's an hour a week, I think.
Imagine if community service had sales. Like, oh, if you do community service this day, it counts double.
If you do community service from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays. No, that's
It's a double community service sale.
that is an industry that is calculated. Am I right, Dan? No, big thanks to our patrons. If you wanted to be a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Another Woodshop podcast. And Scott Holland did just that. And he became a VIP patron this week. So big thanks to Scott Holland. We really appreciate you and everything you do to support us. So thank you. Also, one of our most popular segments on the whole show
Oh, Black Betty, rambling.
is reviews. So right now we're going to go right into our first review, which is this. We don't have any, so I was just kidding. Anyway, we're going to go. We don't have any more reviews this week. I don't know if Dan pulled up Yelp.
No,
news
I
is
didn't.
good news.
I forgot all about it.
He's 0.875.
No news is the best pub. No.
Yep. Dan's pretty far into his Jose Cuervo premixed margarita, which according to him is as good as when you get it in Mexico. So
It is. I've been to Mexico numerous times.
well, we know. We were in the pre-show.
There goes our Mexico listenership.
We're gonna lose all the Latinos. Anyway,
Is one listen in Mexico worth the same as like one listen in America?
No, I think
sorry, I'm just doing finger guns for Dan.
I think the trade
The rate is there a translation?
The exchange rate is pretty high.
Exchange rate, yeah,
it's
that's
in
what
our
I was-
favor.
Yeah,
For
we have
sure,
40,000 downloads in Mexico. That's like 12 in the US.
It follows the same line as the pesos. Anyway, big thanks to the patrons and the reviewers, especially those who actually review. We haven't had a review in a while. Come on, people, get in there. We only have
I can pull up
400
Yelp
reviews.
right now real fast.
No, we don't.
It's
Let's
too
not
late.
do that. Let's
We're
move
too
on
deep
to.
in.
I can
Almost at the
read
end of
right
the
now.
episode.
I can
Let's
read.
move on. Let's move on to the true.
Let's move
hero
on
of this
before Dan says he's gonna read.
Before Dan
he finds
attempts
words.
reads. Yeah, before he finds words to attempt to say. This is the true cornerstone of our show. It's a little segment called
What's on my bench?
Ooh, having those hotkey buttons sure does make it easy to use the soundboard now. I don't know if either of you guys are ready to talk about what's on your week, so I'm going to throw it to Dan.
Oh, you son of a bee. All right. It's been a pretty short week, first of all. I mean, the last time we
That's my
talked, it was
fault.
Thursday.
Yep, it's
and
Tuesday right
it's
now.
now
Sorry.
Tuesday.
It
So
feels like less days.
it has been less days.
When you
It has been
messaged
less
last
days.
night, I was like, oh no, it is
We all
tomorrow.
were. None of
No,
us
Dan was
realized
asleep, but yeah.
until last night that we were recording.
I was absolutely asleep when you guys were texting last night, and you had a full conversation in the middle of the night
We sure did.
when
Yep.
normal people sleep.
Right. So it's
Oh,
a guy
it's-
that was up to 4:30 in the morning with me the other day.
I don't know.
Not
talking
like
about
that. It was a purely
/
sexual thing.
r/butt sharpies.
there goes the Sharpie sponsorship.
No.
I think this is going to get them the best numbers they've ever seen. They'll be coming back.
Redacted.
What's on my bench this actually I did quite a few things this week. Guys, I don't know if I made it perfectly clear last Thursday when we recorded, but I am now the Sawstop zero clearance insert king of Sarpy County, Nebraska, USA.
Ooh.
You did. It was only 4
You
days ago.
said it all together in one breath. Proud of you.
I sold 14 of those this weekend, which is kind of boggling
That's awesome,
to me.
man.
I mean, you know, $32.99 times 14. You do the math. I'm gonna buy a boat. It's gonna be a nice boat.
That was the most Ron Burgundy sentence you have ever said. You do, man.
No,
I'm going to buy a boat.
I've been busy with those. And so like just today, nope, let's back up a little bit. I messaged, nope, I'm really bad at this. I put out a call.
106 episodes.
I put out a call on Instagram asking for anybody local who knows how to wire up the spindle that I bought months ago. What is that, Pete? 3 horsepower spindle that we bought? I think I bought it at the same time you did.
I believe that's what it equates to.
Yeah, it's a 3 horsepower. 2.2 kilo whatever's or whatever.
Yeah.
121 gigawatts. Yeah.
Euclidean theory postures that.
So I bought a spindle and it's been sitting in a box underneath my CNC.
This was on your bench 6 months ago.
Now.
You can't use it again.
Well, I'm totally using it again. You can't stop me. Who are you?
Fight.
I am the arbiter or whatever. I don't know.
Arbiter?
I don't know. That's a word I wanted to use.
Sounds like the worst superhero
His
of
word
all
of the
time.
day calendar. He was able to check that one off.
I'm the arbiter.
Right here. Oh, that's yesterday's. Today is flan.
But anyways, I put out a call in my Instagram stories for anybody.
A delicious treat made by the Latinos. FYI.
Anybody who could help me wire up this spindle. And
who came and helped you?
Graham Baird.
I love him.
Woodworker.
Did you know his middle name's Cracker?
Graham Cracker Baird. Can we start over?
No. I'm just gonna do this the whole time.
So he
we
wired
have an hour to fill per Fuhrer Pete. We have to. You will do an hour.
Graham wired up the spindle
Graham
for
is
me.
super great.
He's fantastic. He's super fantastic. He came to my place when we had the maker meet up last fall.
He's great.
Last spring. It was spring because it was about the time that
last year.
It was about the time that I got the CNC in, actually. Yeah. So it's been a year. Anyway, Graham wired up the spindle. He got it all working, and then I had some troubles this morning getting it mounted, and I was just like, I threw my hands up in the air and I was like, screw it, I'm not dealing with it.
You're a woodworker, not a machinist.
That's right.
To get
I went to Home Depot and I bought another Makita router and I slapped that sucker in the Onefinity and I got back to work. But long story short, I have a ton of Etsy orders to get done. I have never ever been so busy on Etsy. It's both a blessing and kind of a curse because I've reached the point where I need to find more time in the day to figure out how to fulfill all these orders.
No, if you can only cut out like naps or something, but no, that's
why
on the table.
Not
on the table.
Why you got to go straight to that? Like I've been working 12 hours a day in the shop.
You shouldn't because they're so important. Have you tried cutting out family time?
I haven't. There's been no naps. There's been no nap times. I've gotten 0 naps. This is a travesty.
Truth. Have you not been napping?
No.
That explains your extra Dan today.
Well, I got a lot of margaritas in me currently.
I was gonna take one hell of a nap after this.
It's Tuesday. It's Margarita Tuesday.
You're gonna be super effective tomorrow. I can't figure out why I'm not more effective during the day. Bring me my 9th margarita.
Oh, that reminds me. I got an espresso machine.
Yeah, you told us last week.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's been great.
You were bouncing off the walls because you had like 5 in a day.
It's great for my productivity. I'll tell you that much. It's still popping. I'm got the caffeine flowing.
That explains.
I'm snapping my fingers. Things are good.
Thick.
It does
really trying to fill in this what's on your bench, huh?
Yep. I'm trying real hard. So I had another client show up to my shop. We talked doors, actually, to get super serious. This guy was a representative for a local door and glass company, and they do a lot of door work and do a lot of remodels. So I think there's a very fruitful relationship there for the future, which is super cool. That's going to be ongoing, so I'll be sure to update as that.
I hope that happens, dude. That'd be
manifests. Sick. It sounds very, very likely, so I'm really excited about that. And I put some Rubio down on the monkey pod live edge slab that I have. I'm gonna attach some legs to it. That's going to another client. That's going to the client with the beach house. Come at me, bro. There are beaches in Nebraska. I will fight you. Other than that, Etsy, beach house, table, door, client. Not much going on.
Yeah.
Mikey, you want to talk? You want to talk a little bit?
Yeah. This week's been pretty poopy, honestly, like since the week started.
I'm gonna go take a nap. Is that cool? Can I?
Yeah, I won't. I'm just gonna go real quick.
No, dang it! Come on, I need you to go long so I can take a nap.
I'll go long or whatever. No, the you know what I'm saying? At least 9 minutes. No, Sean is going to be on vacation starting the end of this week, and he'll be gone
170 pounds, 8 inches, respectively.
Yeah, respectively. That was solid.
Great response.
Yeah, it was great. No, Sean's going to be gone, so that kind of he had told me that, but I just hadn't. I just completely forgot. The schedule's really busy. The next like 6 weeks are insane in the shop, and you know, frankly, Sean's just a huge, just an incredible amount of help in the shop. Like it's, I'm basing my workload on Sean being in there, and Sean just does a ton of stuff. So next week's going to be really, really difficult. But we kind of got another frustrating thing that happened is I was supposed to get a delivery today or yesterday from Macbeth, and that didn't happen. And they're having some labor issues over there. They're having shortages of labor. I'm told they had a couple guys quit, and then a driver quit as well. So, yeah, they're having some problems over there with staff. So they weren't able to get that out. Hopefully it'll come this week, but it kind of offset. I mean, unfortunately, it's just going to put things back. It's the thing that's really frustrating is it's changed my plan. And I hate when my plan gets changed when I have like what I feel to be a really good plan for like our labor. Like I'll work on this while Sean's working on this, and then Matt comes in and he works on this. And now I have to
like throwing a bug into the wrench of things.
Yeah, it just that throwing a bug into the wrench. It's I don't know what Dan's doing. He's making
bugs.
Is he gonna jump me? Oh yeah, that I'll go to that.
He'll get to it.
Yeah, I'll get to it. No, anyway, I have to rejigger the whole week basically, but it is what it is. We'll get it going. And then I don't know if I mentioned on the show last week, but that I think I did though. And by last week it was like 4 days ago. But the Claro walnut dining room table that we delivered like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, my customer texts me and goes, "Hey, is this normal?" And there's like a little pile of sawdust. And I'm like, "Oh no, it's not." It wasn't termites, which are can be much worse termites. It's beetles, powder post beetles. They make little tiny piles.
The beetles are the worst.
They are so overrated. The worst.
So did you use that Yoko Ono treatment on there?
Yeah, the Yoko Chem Oakwo.
Yoko.
Yeah.
And there's your show title, Kim Yoko.
Kim Yoko. Yeah, I'm using a product. I already forgot what it's called. Boracare. Boracare is what it's called. We're treating. So basically, these powder post beetles, they won't go into the heartwood. Typically, they'll stay in the sapwood, and that's where the softer wood is, and they'll stay in there and eat.
That's tasty. And that's where that makes sense.
It's so good. It's sweet. It's sap.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But anyway,
ask the Canadians. They know.
What's that about? No, it's there's no evidence of them being anywhere but right near the edge, the live edge part. There's no evidence at all. And so we've been soaking it for the last 2 days. I had like 6 beetles fall out of that thing and die, and however many died inside the wood, they didn't come out. So I filled it with CA glue and thin fast CA glue stuff. That stuff's like thinner than water. So I got that all in there and sealed it in, and we're gonna just let it sit. I'm gonna wipe it all down tomorrow afternoon before the end of the day, and just kind of see where things line out. And if I see no more evidence of stuff, we'll sand it back. You have to wait 48 hours after you treat it before you can put a finish on. So it'll go pretty quick. What's up, Dan?
Did Pete just take a swig of cough syrup?
I believe so, yes. No.
It's Hogarden.
It's made of wheat.
Yeah. All right.
No, so yeah, there's that.
Beer.
Sent out some pretty big quotes this week. What is that noise? Sent out
Luna.
some really big. Sent out probably is. It's either them or my family's back. Sent out some really big quotes this week. There's some other stuff I want to talk about, but I honestly can't remember, so I'll probably interrupt you, Pete.
Cool.
Pete,
I'll
what do
say
you
a
got going
trigger word, and you'll go, that's right.
on? Oh yeah, I remember.
Trigger warning.
Sauce.
I'll go, so, and then Michael go.
Guys, I put an apple Jolly Rancher into my margarita.
Did you really?
Phenomenal. Yes, I did.
Okay. What is this like a late night at Applebee's or something? Is like specialty drinks? I'll have the Jolly Rancher margarita, please. Neat. Hold the Jolly Rancher.
I feel like we should charge him for that. Go on.
Recipes with Pete. All right. So my week or weekend recipes. So it's been a very short weekend, and I'm like, I didn't really get too much done. I started making my list, and I guess I was
short
busy
weekend.
It's been just a weekend. I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's kind of been a weekend.
Monday's kind of a leftover of the weekend, and then here we are. So I've been knocking out more of those ice climbing tools. And the last delivery I had, I was talking to my friend who's the one kind of spearheading this whole thing. And I was like, we're going to need to talk. I think I talked about this last week. Like, we're going to need to talk about the per pair cost on these.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Because it's probably going to go up. And he was like, oh, like, what do you think? Like $7-8 or whatever. I'm like, no, I mean like double. And I was like, I kind of said it broadly and out there, but I actually did a batch this weekend. I counted all the hours for 10 pairs. It's more than double. Like I'm not getting my hourly rate. I'm getting less than half of it for the shop. And I'm like, and that's not counting like anything like wear and tear on tools, 10%, stuff I have to buy for, any of that.
Question.
Yeah.
Before you go any further, I was watching your stories and it looked like you had some aluminum inserts that you were putting in the middle of.
Yep.
So you're making the handles out of Baltic birch plywood, right?
Are
you sandwiching Baltic birch on the aluminum?
So here, let me take you through the whole thing.
Is that part of the process?
Yeah. So that's the part that adds a lot of strength to it. So it's 1/4 Baltic birch or 3/8 Baltic birch, 1/4 inch aluminum with like cut out pieces in the center for reduction of weight, and then Baltic birch again. And there's 5 holes in it. And I put in these threaded.
What's the 1-inch Baltic birch for that you were buying?
Those are separate. Those are ones for like, they basically attach straps. They still have a bunch of those. So there's 2 different models.
Those are the, we care less about your safety. Ice climbing
they're
picks.
just, yeah, kind of. But no, they're they're essentially, you come with a strap so you can use the holds and like hook on them, because not every gym, rock climbing gym allows these ice climbing tools that have a metal point on them because it'll damage the holds. There's more of this one of those.
Well, that ruins my joke. Thank you.
I know, but it's fine. I still like it. The other ones also look like marital aids, so there's that. But so I'm sandwiching them together. I'm putting the screws through, and then I have to route them around. So I have to route it using the aluminum as my guide.
So it's such a terrible way to go.
Okay. Back. I route them out. I sand them on a spindle sander. I sand them with the Mirka. I sand them by hand with the the gold flex that they have, which, by the way, that stuff is awesome. They market it as an automotive thing. This needs to be a woodworking thing because it's really good. And then I laser it, and the whole thing for 10 pairs takes me 10 hours to do. I'm not getting enough of my hourly rate, which is like, if it was enough. The other thing is, like, I don't have time to be knocking out 15, 20 hours a week in the shop on just this one project, because I literally have no time to work on the other stuff I need to work on. Between Etsy orders and things I want to build for the house, it's getting really tough. And it is about to be the off season, but still, I may have to tell the customer, like, listen, you know what, this is not worth my time, or just quote them the actual price, like what it needs to be, which either way, even if I was continuing, I'm quoting them that price.
Shoot him my email.
Yeah, but you do not want to be doing this mindless repetitive crap.
Oh, I'll just give him I don't.
That price. No.
Marital
I'm not gonna do it.
This
would be crazy.
Sit on Sean and
I have people. No, not Sean.
Hire another guy.
Yeah.
But,
bring in some kids.
Anyways, I mean, I brought in Jake one week to like help me get a little ahead on it and stuff. And like, I want, basically the rate I gave him, I'm not getting hourly. So like, why would I waste my time on it? But anyways, aside from that, so we went axe throwing for my friend's birthday. She really wanted to go axe throwing. And the best part about going axe throwing is this place was like all lumberjack wood themed, and just the amount of looks and nudges I was getting, like, hey, what do you think of this place, huh? Look at the live edge slabs and stuff. I was like, yeah, it's nice. And I'm just like looking around. I'm like, why? why this? Why that? There was live edge slab tabletops that had like bolts running through them. And then I realized there were just like pointy head lag bolts that were connected to nothing. They were just there to be decorations. I'm like, this is like fake industrial, whatever. I was just getting like upset at the design. Like, all right, what are you wasted a perfectly good 3-inch slab here?
It's a good lag bolt.
Yeah, it's a good lag bolt. It's a perfectly good lag bolt and slab. You guys wasted it. But it was a lot of fun. It was fun to throw some axes. It's like a rage room, except you're just throwing axes. And I highly recommend it. Go.
You had me at Rage Room.
Somebody was saying, Emma's brother was saying, like, oh, we should go to a rage room. I'm like, this is basically it. I'm throwing an axe at a wall. Like, I can get as angry as I want.
It's a rage room.
Oh, it's like you go and like they give you like plates to smash.
Have you not been to my place?
No, these are actual places. You go
screaming.
You put on like what you would wear to like take out asbestos out of a house and safety glasses, and you just smash.
It's for people who can't afford therapy.
Basically, yeah. But like you want to get a Groupon for it. It's so stupid.
A Groupon.
But go axe throwing. Axe throwing to me is like going to a driving range and just like hitting the crap out of a ball and just setting it down range.
Oh,
or missing
that
a bunch.
That is so fun. That is so fun.
Therapy. I don't know if you're mocking me or not, but I really do.
No, I agree. I agree. I enjoy going to a driving range and just smacking the crap out of it.
Yeah, something fun about a driving range. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, especially when you get good.
I want to go back to Mike because he brought something up. I don't know if I'm just throwing him under the bus here, but he brought something up in our private chat that I don't know if he can talk about, but he talked about buying several slabs for a very good price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got actually a couple things. So Pete, let me know. Throw it to me when you're done.
Well, I can pause. You can go.
Yeah. So I remember the other thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot. So I'm working on those grounding boxes. We're going to talk about these grounding boxes, but I was working on those grounding boxes, and I got the first So we went through a few different digital prototypes, and we've gone through 2 different physical prototypes of these grounding boxes. The final design is done, but the prototype 1, which we actually built, and then my customer decided to change some things about it. I got that one back with all the guts inside of it. They're doing all the internals, all the copper shielding and all that stuff. So that thing weighs about at least 85 pounds. It's literally full of crystals and gems.
I remember you actually like trying to lift it on a cart that it was on, and it was like heavy. Like
it's extremely hard for me, and I'm not weak to lift. Sean physically cannot lift it.
I know you.
So it's very heavy. But anyway, yesterday if I could turn back time, I'd be a much happier person. So yesterday morning, I ran out to the shop. I was going to glue the top on so we could seal it in. I was going to have Sean start sanding around the perimeter to feather sand it all out and get it all buttoned up so I could start spraying it.
So back up a little bit. For these grounding boxes, even though you haven't like really explained it yet, and that's actually going to be something that you do this episode.
Yeah, I'll do it now.
You have to glue on the top and seal it in.
It can never be seen because it's proprietary. The insides are proprietary. My customer does not want that to be seen.
Yeah, please explain that. That's
so
very intriguing.
The specifications inside.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about what's inside there because my customer requested not. But so grounding box basically goes between your amp and your speaker. And when the amp puts out an output, to your speaker. You're putting this grounding box in between that. The audio signal goes in, and then any excess sound, like the 60 hertz hum that comes from the cycles of your plugs or whatever. If your house isn't properly grounded, or you're in an apartment where there's a bunch of people, basically it's to min-max the sound of your audio. This eliminates the sound. I think I've made some jokes about it on the show, but I had a bunch of people reach out last week. I know they work. I know they're real and that they actually do what they're supposed to. They're very high level for audiophiles. They're like very high level pieces of equipment. And they
so you're just building a box for
the box.
Guts.
The box. Yeah, the box is a box.
Proprietary, like
the box
internal
has,
parts.
I can't say what's inside of it, but it has a lot of things that can absorb the excess sound and eliminate it and take it out of the line.
Interesting. Okay.
And there's these ones are very premium. My customer is a very he's heavily invested into audio equipment, high-end audio equipment, and he knows
his name Dr. Dre.
No, he is not Dr. Dre. That'd be dope.
Grounding boxes by Dre.
That'd be so sick. Oh, that would be so sick to be a part of that. No, but this customer, he's awesome. I mean, this customer is so great. I really love working with this guy. He's a great dude. And these things are really cool. And they're going to be like real. I mean, essentially they're going to be functional pieces of art. I mean, we're putting there's 50 man hours per box at this point. They're going to be really pretty. They're getting
insane.
Instrument grade, high gloss finishes over all of them. We're sanding everything. There is no sanding marks anywhere on these things. It's going to be the whole kit and caboodle. These things are going to look like a guitar finish on them when we're done. Anyways, I glued the lid on backwards. So I did that yesterday. We got like
strike one
3.5 hours into working on it. And Sean's like, is this the direction it's supposed to be facing? I'm like, yeah, for sure. I for sure looked at that and didn't mess that up. That'd be extremely costly. Nope, it's wrong. So we had to remove the top, which had been glued. It was glued on there with Type.
How'd you remove it?
Coming off. Planed it down. Ran it through the planer. That thing weighs, like I said, 90 pounds. My back was hurting all last night.
I'm surprised you didn't try to bandsaw it or something.
It's too big. Damn. It's too big. It's the boxes are 19 inches tall.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay.
Yeah, they're 19 inches tall. So there's no.
And your bandsaw can resaw like 18. What? 18? Yeah. It's just you just missed it.
Hence the 18BX.
Son of a B.
And they're oddly shaped. So
son of a BX.
I would have had to make a sled, which wouldn't have been a big deal. But also them being on their side, if the blade had drifted and it opened up the cavity, all the stuff would have fallen out. And that's put in a very specific order that I am not going to have to deal with.
So I thought it was like there, like not moving or anything.
Oh no, it's loose in there. We put the lid on, then it's sealed in. Like it's like if it gets tipped without the lid,
everything's in there loose.
Yeah,
like a loose meat sandwich.
Yeah,
lunch lady land.
Yeah. Nothing helps with audio interruptions like some turkey.
Like a loose meat sandwich.
Slices.
They just threw a bunch of
loose meat
in grounding
a box.
It's like they work good, but man, do they smell terrible. No, it was a real nightmare. We were trying to okay, we'll throw it on the CNC. We'll turn off the dust collection. We'll run a flattening pass. I throw it on there and I go, oh yeah, my CNC's Z height can only do 6 3/8. These are 6.75.
Oh
so
man,
so we had to run it. Yeah,
if it wasn't for your planer, you would have literally been doing a Dunlap and making a sled and routing the
Why?
We brought it down to an eighth, and then Sean hit it with the smoothing plane and got the rest off. It took 5 minutes, but he took the rest off with the smoothing plane. Quickly knocked out a new box top.
I would have took a flamethrower to
adults are talking.
Anyways, it's real. It was a real crappy day. And then what was the other thing you threw me under the bus? Oh, the slabs. You're not throwing me under the bus. Local guy.
Yeah, you didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't. You're right. Local guy. He's gonna
want to hear more.
The local guy is the Sawyer. Well, he was. He's kind of hanging up his coat or hanging up his hat for that. He's not going to be cutting up wood anymore. He didn't
hanging
own
up
the
his jacket is the term.
Hanging up his chainsaw
cardigan.
Yeah. No, it's a pullover. Thank you. No, it's the opposite of that. Pullover. No, it's a cardigan. Thanks for asking. No, he actually didn't own the bandsaw, because if he was going to be quitting that, I'd be like, hey man, I want to buy your bandsaw. But he was renting a bandsaw, but he was cutting lots of beautiful walnut.
What kind of bandsaw are you talking about?
It was
like
an LT70
we're talking about
Woodmiser.
So we're talking about a sawmill bandsaw.
Oh, a sawmill bandsaw, yeah.
Not a bandsaw in.
Not like a bandsaw. No.
Not like a 14 or 18 BX.
No. This is a 36-inch wide. Anyway, yeah. So he's selling me all of this stock for like a great price. So, and it was cut 25 months ago. It's all dry. So, nice. It's all good.
That is super, super cool.
I mean, yeah, it's all like coffee table size slabs. And there's 8 or 9 of them. So,
but the price that you gave us is
the price
like
I'm
bonkers.
Bonkers. It's so cheap.
There's no way you can say no to that. That's
no, I literally
insane.
Can't. And Sean's like, maybe I'll buy some. I was like, no, you're not buying.
No, you're not.
No, I'll probably sell some.
No,
to Sean.
This is all for me.
I'll sell some to Sean for sure. So I'll put them out there and put them on my. I'll put them on social media and see if anyone's looking for a coffee table. And I didn't mention maybe I did actually. I'm pricing up a river table, which I do not want to do a river table at all. I've noticed
money
episode 1 through 70.
Well, it's not even that. Like
them off.
I don't want to do it. Like I straight up, I told my customer, I was like, hey, I already told them, I was like, hey, listen, no, it's not even about money. Sean wants to do one really bad. And he's like, hey, could you get us a river table? I really want to do one, which is crazy because he's more of a traditionalist, but he really wants to do one. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll try to get one out there. But this is a repeat customer. Do you remember when I bleached that redwood?
Remember when you bleached that Sharpie?
Redwood? Yeah. I remember when you bleached something.
Yeah. Both times when I bleached, it was for this customer. No, it was the bleached redwood. The bleached redwood was for this customer. They're a really great customer. They were super cool. So they asked me. They bought this. We talked about it. It was the cottonwood.
Sure.
It was the cottonwood slab. So theirs is actually very pretty. But anyways, that's what else is going on. I don't think anything else will come up. Pete, what else did you got?
Oh, where did I leave off? I got caught up on all of my administrative crap. I actually just knocked it all out yesterday. Felt really good. I threw away so much paperwork because I've been talking about this for like weeks. So I keep dealing with administrative stuff.
You have a fire pit, right?
I do. Yeah, it's all that. Like there's like a bin of paperwork that I just got to toss in there. Yeah, that's how I burn the evidence.
Wow.
I mean, who actually recycles all their?
That's how we Watergate this.
That's Watergate, Nixon, all that. Presidents. What else?
It's a very modern reference.
I had a very pleasant surprise today. Oh, actually, no. It was a very annoying surprise that I was kind of expecting. I got a notification yesterday that I'm getting a freight delivery, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And it said it was from Laguna, and I'm like, the last I heard, and it was recently, my Laguna Dust Collector, which was supposed to be here or back in stock on March 15th, got requoted to June 25th. So of course, I'm not ready. I don't have any plumbing, nothing. Guess what shows up today? My Laguna Dust Collector.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. Laguna sandwiches. Here's the annoying part. They were supposed to call me. And by the way, I have never gotten an email so short. And
to be fair, this is not Laguna's fault. This
is not. This is the freight company. Let me just explain it this way. The last email I got from them had several abbreviations in it, including the last sentence, which was, we'll call you 30 min B, the letter B, for no period. And then like they signed off, and I was like, okay, cool. We're using slang. Okay. Not only did they not call 30 minutes ahead, they showed up an hour early while I was on a conference call at work.
Shoot.
So I'm having to scramble, and I'm like, can you just get it down a driveway? I'll be out in 5. I was out in like 10 or 15. And I'm like on a conference call,
a Polish 5,
telling them how to get this, or like taking pictures and making sure everything's good, signing paperwork. It was a Polish dumpster fire, but I finally got it in. And of course he literally leaves my driveway at 4:00 when I clock out of work. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, great. Perfect timing, guy. He was very nice. It's not his fault. He was like, oh, I was in the neighborhood. I can come back. I'm like, just, you're here. I'm not going to send you back for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you won't get it for 6 more months.
Exactly. Yeah, we were like, oh well, he had to go back. He was coming from PA, so I was like, screw it, whatever, just deliver it. But I got the thing in here.
What's PA?
Pennsylvania, Pennsyltucky.
Personal assistant.
Yeah. Oh God, we all need one. But the other thing that it got me to do, which I should have thought ahead, I was like, oh, it's coming. I'm going to be doing a video on it. Hey, it would be smart to like get your camera out and like charge all the batteries. No, why would I do that? So
question before you go any further. How are you going to do a video without all the fittings?
Fitting all this in your, so Dan's going to send me fittings. Dan's got a bunch of fittings that he offered to me a year ago.
I've since sold them on eBay.
Yeah,
and given them away to Goodwill.
That's fine, but don't string me along like you're a catfisher. Catfisherman? Catfish? But
flathead catfish.
I took all the equipment out because here's the thing. All of my camera equipment, everything was nicely organized in the closet behind me. If you're watching the video, everything was categorized. Audio stuff was here, camera stuff was here, all that. Then I packed it all up into a box. Then I packed it all up and it got moved into the basement. So I had to scramble to try to find this. Oh yes, it is. So distracting. Apologize. Mike texted us, but I had to get all of my equipment out, find everything. And I even got to try out my new Rode mics, they sound so good.
Rode mics are way better than home mics because Rode mics actually like to have fun. Home mics, the mic that we have on the show, not so fun.
I'll allow it. It was a long road.
You like that?
Got us there.
You like that?
That was good.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I need a carrot. I'm kind of tired, but it was worth it.
Can we clip this and make this thing for
TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
That's how we go viral.
We're gonna go viral.
You're welcome.
But anyways, it actually felt really nice to like start recording again. It kind of got me excited about. I wrote a quick little script. Got me excited about getting a video out. And what also got me in the mood to get a video out was the fact that I went to record and I was like, oh, this 128 gigabyte SD card has 105 gigs worth of video on it already. And then I started looking through it and I was like, oh, this has never been offloaded because this was in like the peak of us moving and me setting up the shop. Focus on me. I recorded all this video and then moved downstairs and never offloaded off my camera. So it's just been sitting there. If the SD card went kaput, I would have been screwed. So I have a lot of content to go through and get out. So I think I'm going to start sitting down in the next month or so and start editing some videos. So I'm pretty stoked for that, especially now that I'm in my office again. So very excited. Anyways,
I remember coming out of Workbench Con being like, yeah, man, I'm going to make some. And then I'm just like,
same. And I came home and I was like, oh, I like left behind responsibilities for a week. There's so much to do. It was fun to pretend.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
Also got to talk to some people from Workbench Con recently that we may have on the podcast. So stay tuned. We're going to have some guests this year. It's going to be a good year. But
I don't think so. It's going to be a bad year.
No, it's going to be the goodest year of all. But you know what's really exciting? All the question we got this week.
Oh man, so many questions.
So many questions.
The first question, and I need to pull it up here because I don't have, it's this question from a gentleman by the name of Scott Shirk.
Hello, another Woodshop podcast. Hey, Scott Shirk with Red Leg Custom Woodworks here. Got a question. I recently just purchased a TS55 Fez tool track saw.
Fez.
And got to looking at some of the specs on it and realized it only cuts like a 2 and an 1/8 inch thick. One of the things that I cut a lot of is some thicker slabs, anywhere from 2 inch to sometimes up to 2.5. Got to noticing that they make a 75 but are unavailable. I'm just wondering if I should just be happy with what I'm getting and hopefully I can make it work, or cancel my order and wait till they've got the bigger one out. So other than that, looking forward to hearing what you guys think. So we'll talk to you later, and thank you.
Scott, I would definitely not cancel your order and wait for the 75. It doesn't sound like those are going to be coming back anytime soon.
Why don't you give us the whole like spiel on it?
So my understanding of it is that the 75s or the 55s outsell the 75s like some crazy number to one. It's like 8 to 1 or something like that. They just sell way more of them. And the two machines share a lot of parts, and the parts are interchangeable. Obviously they share the parts. So they've been cannibalizing the 75 parts to get more of the 55 parts out to keep up with demand, because they can't get parts for both of them. So that's my understanding. That could be industry hearsay. It might not be true, but either way, the 75s are not available through Festool, and they don't really have an ETA on those. So I would just say get your 55. One thing you can do is I would join like the Facebook Festool owners group, and just keep your eyes out, like search keywords in your Facebook marketplace.
That's a place.
Yeah, people sell those things. I mean, someone just sent me a link for ETSEC 50, like this sander for like, it was Jake Miller. Jake Miller sent it to me today. But people in the Festool owner group are selling tools all the time. So you keep your eyes peeled in there. You might be able to find one. But the other thing is, like, for me, I'm in the same boat. Like I own a 75 and a 55. I need my 75 to cut through some slabs. And I mean, it'll cut to 2 7/8 at 90 straight up and down. And sometimes that's not even enough. And I end up having to break some else up. I'm like, I probably should have bought this a while ago, but I'm like constantly on the cusp of buying a beam saw, which is basically like a chainsaw, like a tiny chainsaw blade that you like run along there. And they're cool. Yeah. But like, it's like needed to break down like live edge slabs for the most part. I mean, they'll cut down to like 9 inches or something like that. And they're for cutting beams. You know, it's called a beam saw. It's a tiny chainsaw bar that runs vertically instead of, well, you can run a chainsaw any direction, but anyway, it references off of it vertically. So you can get one of those. And I think also that, is it Makita?
No,
the blue one. Makita, yeah. Makita has a circular saw that will run on a track, and it will work on any of the tracks.
They have a track saw. I had that right before.
Right? No, they have a track saw. This is separate. This is a separate saw that will actually cut to like 3 5/8 of an inch. Oh, it's not the track. It's not the
skill saw. Skill saw has that 16-inch monster.
They have the big, that one,
but it's not a track saw. It's a circular saw.
No, it's the circ saw, but it's got like it'll kill your family blade on there. It's like, it's
for
a monster.
And that'd be definitely something 2x4.
Yeah, that'd be something to have in the shop for sure. I mean, I would definitely wouldn't mind getting one of those, but I mean, no offense, but skill saw, come on. I mean, that's crap. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, I feel like it just wouldn't last.
I'm going to disagree. That skill saw has the worm drive on it. It's worm drive is good. It's a very nice saw. I mean,
yeah, there's the worm drive saws are definitely nice from skill saw. I just feel like I don't have any experience with their customer service. And I feel like
I didn't know we were bringing customer service into this.
Their stability is tenuous at times. I feel like they're almost always on the cusp of going bankrupt over there at Skill Saw. So I don't know. I could be mistaken. I don't know. That's just the feeling I get. They kind of go back and forth a lot. But there's options out there for other saws, and you don't have to buy the most expensive one. I break out my TS55 all the time. That thing gets used all the time, and you'll be very happy you kept that thing. The TS75 is a big saw that requires 2 hands. And it's a monster. I mean, it'll do everything the 55 will, but you just don't need that much cut depth all the time. Pete?
So I have the 75. Dan, you have the 75 as well, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and I think we both came from the Makita track saw. Oh no,
nope.
You
came from the Win.
Jim's track saws and
we don't
stuff.
say that word here. But yeah, I had the Makita track saw, which was basically the 55 equivalent. It cuts 2 3/16 because it's a pissing contest apparently, and that's better than 2 1/8.
I had the Win, and it was good enough. Good enough.
The thing is, like, I love the Makita. It was a good size. It was plenty powerful. Honestly, for the price, it's a great saw. The TS55 you're going to be very happy with. That's just a good size to have, and I have the 75, and it's rare I've never run it at full depth. It's a great saw because, like, it's just big and powerful and cuts through everything, but I really don't need it. A 55 would have been perfect for me. And the other problem, like Mike said, that sucker's heavy. It could be a one-handed saw if you're, you want to be a big man, be a big boy or a big girl.
That's me.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
But the 55, it really is just a sweet spot. It's rare that you're going to run into something that you have to cut beyond that. And honestly, I've seen people cut something with a track saw or even a circular saw and then just hit it with a like a Japanese blade or saw, just a pull saw, clean it up a little bit.
Why's it got to be Japanese?
Because they make the best pull saws. Matter of fact, I would go as far as saying that they are the only ones that make them. Yeah. Okay. No American pull saws. Look it up. But
have you been to Pearl Harbor?
The other thing is you're not going to get a 75 right now. It's great so necklaces. Hard. Get that 55. You're going to be very happy and you're not going to regret it. And if you really need to make a bigger cut, you're talented enough to be creative enough. Dan, what do you think?
All right. Full transparency. I went to the PP break while the question was being answered. I don't know exactly what he was asking. Is he asking about?
He's asking if he got the 55. He's got
the 55.
Envy. Yeah, he got the 55. He saw the 75 goes deeper.
75.
Yeah. And then he was wondering if she cancels 55 and wait for the 75.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Keep that 55. Get both whenever if possible. Absolutely. I have this 75, like Pete and Mike both said. It's a fantastic saw, but there are times when I'm wanting to do track saw quote unquote cuts, and I don't reach for my 75 because it's big and obnoxious, and I wish that I had the 55 because I would not bypass or surpass the 75 to do a 55 track saw cut. So yes, get the 55, get the 75, get both if you can, because
get the 95
they both
if
have
you can.
They both have a purpose.
So big.
I think
96.
I have the 75. Oftentimes, I wish I had the 55. Bottom line.
55 is dope. It's a great saw. Don't get rid of it.
Take the advice because this is 3 men telling you that they wish they had gone smaller.
Ouch.
I mean, I have. Yeah.
Can I get my wife?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Kayla!
She's coming down. For sure.
You're like, what? Oh, it was just a bit. Oh, I was.
Well, anyway, that's our whole show. So
is that it?
For, no,
that's
last week we went 2 hours in this.
I know.
No, this is making up for it. We need to average out over time.
If we have too many hours, Buzzsprout charges us a lot. It's really expensive.
Really, we can't. We can barely afford
like $4.
Pete, you're good at coming up very last second with a topic. Do it. Go now.
Well, Swedish Nuts asked us if we have to go around the shop and look for all the pencils and writing utensils that we have around the shop. How many would we have? And we both answered well into the double digits because I feel like that's true. But I have another question. What about tape measures?
Oof.
I can tell you exactly how many I have in the shop.
Oh,
really? Go.
5.
How'd you come up with that number? Explain.
That's how many I have. I have 4 green fast caps and then the 1 white fast cap. That's all I have in the shop.
And you know exactly where they are?
Oh yeah, for sure. They're left.
What is wrong with you?
No, what a psychopath.
You're not.
One is on my outfeed. One is over by my resaw bandsaw. One is on my Calavera apron. One is on my belt loop right now.
I feel like
the other one is
an
over by my lumber
opportunity
stack.
for Mike to drop names. One is on my Calavera.
Hashtag
blah, blah, blah.
And you could be like, one's in my trail boss.
Yeah.
One is Kayla Dunlap uses.
I have at least 6. I have 2 craftsmen.
One more than mine, Dan. That's fancy.
That wasn't by design.
Just wait till you get to me.
I have 2 craftsmen. And I never buy anything.
Speaking of name drops, 2 craftsmen. And
that's because I have Milwaukee everything and craftsman is red. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
People don't
ask
questions.
Are you sick and tired of your tape measure flopping around? The Daniel Dunlap tape measure 0 clearance insert. We'll keep it from flopping around.
Like lasered acrylic tape supports so it doesn't flop over 6 feet.
I have 2 craftsmen simply because they are red and I'm a Milwaukee fanboy. That's it. That's the only reason. and I never buy anything longer than 16 foot. I'm not a framer. I don't need anything longer than 16 foot. I think 12 foot's probably long enough. But I have 2 craftsmen, and I have 4 Master Force from Menards.
So like a crime-fighting team from the late 90s. Like a cartoon. Did you see the season opener of Master Force last night? Holy cow. The animation is getting good.
They're fantastic.
Season 2 premiere.
They're fantastic. You can make all the jokes you want. They are fantastic.
The Latinos love Master Force.
Oh my god.
No,
I'm done talking.
I think Dan's 100% right. 16 footer is more than enough. I have 2 25s and 3 16s, and the 25s are like, oh, these guys again. I pick them up. I'm like, oh, my lumbar. But they don't need to be that.
I'm not a freaking framer or a roofer. I don't need a 25 footer. 16 foot's more than enough.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I have 4 12 footers in a house that I can't tell you where they all are, but I know I have 4 of those because I bought them.
That's what we want to know.
I'm a big Marvel fan, so I bought Stan Lee, all of them are Stan Lee. No, I have Stan Lee.
I have no idea what that's got to do with Marvel.
I think, isn't he or is he DC? I don't know. Whatever. I don't get it.
Pete acting like he doesn't know that he's the guy who invented all that stuff.
What are you talking about? I really have no idea.
Didn't Stan Lee write all the comics?
Stan Lee is the guy who wrote all those comic books.
Yeah.
Oh, Stan Lee. Okay.
Yeah. What did you think? I said?
All right.
Stan Lee, the yellow.
No, it took me a moment to realize you were talking about Stan Lee versus Stan Lee.
Yeah, no. So I just have a bunch of Stan Lees.
Really bad 12 joke,
footers.
Pete.
It's rare that I have to go over 12 feet. Honestly, most of the stuff is 10 and down. Or 11s, because that's what my lumberyards seem to supply. So 12 and down is great. I have a 16 one, and I have way too many 20s and 25s. They're just from the years of working construction, they just appear in your bag. Definitely didn't steal them. They just appear in your bag. So I probably have close to a dozen tape measures in a whole house. It's to a point where every floor of the house has.
How do you say measure?
Measure. It's measure. So I have a 25.
Oh, you just switched it up there.
Oh, sorry. I go back and forth. But
I'm not trying to make anyone run into a panic right now, but the fast cap tape measures are only $7.99 on Amazon right now.
That's not.
Are we talking about the flat tapes?
No,
I actually have one of the fast cap flat tapes.
Yeah, the flat tape I keep for when I'm at the miter saw. It's always at the miter saw for measuring down stuff. No, the 16,
it's good for accurate measurements.
The 16-foot lefty righty green one that I have, that's my favorite one. And you can write measurements on the side of it with a pencil.
Oh, that's right, because you're a sinner. You're a lefty, right?
Well, not with measuring tape. It makes no difference.
But the fast cap, you could write measurements on the actual tape itself.
Yeah, you can write it on the tape.
It's like a dry erase board.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah, you can write the quick measurements on there. I do it with my Anyway,
one of my favorites is the 3-foot keychain Stanley that I have because it's on our shipping area. Although actually I don't.
Anyway,
use it much now
here's a Stan Lee joke.
Yeah. Anyways, 1,000 pencils, and there you go. 5, 6, 12 tape measures. Let's wrap up the show. We don't need to go to an hour. I'll allow it. I'll wait.
Oh, who is this? Pete is not feeling well, folks. We're actually going to start a GoFundMe for Pete. He's clearly not well if he's allowing an under 1 hour episode. He I don't know where else I can.
Yeah, what the heck, Pete? We can go 7 more minutes. What is this?
Can you, Dan? Can you?
I can.
Let's call it. That way I can edit this thing fast. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you to all the patrons.
You're clearly not my wife.
Call in next week with some questions or topics. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll have way more time for
quality stuff like what Jake Miller did last week. Which, by the way, if you haven't listened last week, listen to that show. There's some good
last week's episode towards really the end, the last hour and 45 minutes of that thing was really good.
Yeah, so. We told you stuff that the big brands don't want you to know about.
Yeah. Big brands. Anyway, big thanks to all you guys for sharing and showing us the love that you share us. Go check out all our Etsy stores. Go show Dan a ton of love on his Etsy store. He doesn't have enough going on over there, so give him
big tape measure. Go buy some trying to hold us down.
Yeah, big tape measure.
You don't measure.
Trying to keep us out of your ears. No. Anyway.
Yeah, hit my Etsy store up, please. I'm begging
you. Need a zero clearance insert for your Yeti tumbler. Dan will make it by the end of this week. So get up with him. He'll have it designed and engineered. Yeah, the lids. Yeah. No, anyway, big thanks to all you guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be back at our normal time next week. Bye now. Bye.
See you next week.
Love you long time.
Yay. Kill it.